This NFL Props Week 2 edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now and use code SGP. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on football. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code SGP. We're also brought to you by Game Time. Snag the tickets without the stress. Use promo code SGP on your first purchase to save $20. Download the Game Time app and use promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play the underdog, pick 'em in college or NFL, and win up to 20x in one game. Use promo code SGPN at Underdog Fantasy for a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. Finally, we're brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com and use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today.
This is Jerry Glanville, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, brother.
Cox.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, second the money green. I'm talking partner in picks, Ryan, real money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
Hey, Sean. Got a lot of energy today. How you doing? Pretty excited to talk about football.
Football. Talking National Football League player props. We're going to be out in Las Vegas tonight. Hopefully you're listening to this on a Friday or you're watching live, youtube.com/sports gambling podcast. So you can get in, or so you set your YouTube TV, record the show. It's pretty sweet. It's got our logo in there. VSiN, 9:00 Pacific live. We got Derek Stevens. We got the man in the box.
I will say, like, just if you're on the fence about hitting the bell on YouTube TV, other than the fact that it obviously helps us.
Yes.
It will then record the show for you in 3 1-hour segments. So
yeah, on YouTube TV,
if you're into that kind of thing.
And VSiN.com. And also, if you guys, I tweeted it out at Gambling Podcast, but we were going to do a listener mailbag. So we will be answering your questions live on air on VSiN.
Yeah, that seems like a good idea.
Okay.
No, I mean, like, I hope there's some scandalous questions.
There's one about I'm deciding which ones we can read on air, but keep sending them in. We will get to the biggest and best of them.
Oh, go ahead.
We got some props. We got some parlays. NFL Week 2 is upon us. If you haven't used the DraftKings Sportsbook app, promo code SGP. What are you waiting for? Of course, our big time parlay, perfect to use the old DraftKings Sportsbook bonus bets on. And of course, bet $5 using the DraftKings Sportsbook app. New customers get $200 in bonus bets. Are you kidding me? The slate is so good for the DraftKings Sportsbook. The division leader, Futures, Tyler Algier to lead the NFC South in rushing yards. Knock on wood, off to a great start. Even though I'm on the Packers, I like his matchup this week. Maybe we'll get into that in the props as well. DraftKings, though, it's great. In-game wagering, the parlays, the same game parlays. Get in on the NFL Week 2 action with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now and use code SGP to sign up. New customers can bet just $5 and take home $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code SGP. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible and gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance.
Yeah, I like the swing and the miss on the sarcasm earlier. You seem to get offended by the mailbag comment.
What do you mean?
Well, I said that sounds like it'll be a good idea. You're like, yeah.
Oh, you were. I just don't understand why you busted out laughing with the mailbag.
Oh, because I'm excited. I think I think it'll be hilarious. We're giving the people a voice.
Yes.
Right.
I like that.
Transparency.
Yes, sir.
And I think there's some people that have interesting voices. So hopefully they can remember, keep it clean.
Easy is asking for the Cocaine Bear soundbite for Kramer with his energy. Kramer bringing the heat.
Yeah, I've already been talking about football for a couple hours this morning. Feeling good. We're hours away from being back into the dry air of Las Vegas.
Yes, cannot wait.
Can't wait for the cab ride. Those have been very electric lately. I feel like we could almost just do a taxi cab diaries of us talking about our cab rides.
We are scheduled to record our bonus episode for Patreon, and I think we just definitely do part 1 of Vegas stories because we going out all the time. I think we got a running list of great all-time stories that we're gonna have to hit for the bonus Patreon podcast.
People have asked a lot about Vegas stories. Yes.
Well. And it's probably like a multi-parter because we can probably break it up into multiple different parts.
It's like 20 years.
Yeah, we've been going out to Vegas for a long time. Underdog Pick'em, the NFL Pick'ems, promo code SGPN, 100% deposit bonus. We're going to give out our favorite higher and lowers on the Underdog Pick'ems. Of course, if you didn't get in, I already got in with a losing entry because I tied it to Jalen Hurts passing yards, did not come through. But all you got to do is connect one of your Pick'ems to higher, lower to a passing yards. They're giving away $100K to 10 people. So 10 people each get 10K. Doesn't matter if the leg hits. Doesn't matter if you're right. You're automatically entered. So shout out to you, Underdog. That's a great value there.
I've been kind of workshopping how to fire off the higher lower high low. Why aren't we calling this high low? Let's talk to the marketing people. Yeah, high low. It feels sweet.
Feels like a
game that Cocaine Bear could play with us.
Feels like a card game the Asian whales would play at the casino. Oh, thank you, sir. Are you here to play some high low? Yes. Give me the black markers. I'm going on a high low run.
You're telling me you wouldn't play high card if they offered?
Oh yeah, of course. Casino war is an option.
That's too many rules. Give me high card only.
High low. Kramer, you kick it off.
I want to be able to bet the low. All right.
You got the mojo going.
So,
you got the energy.
Last week we said we were going to take the blimp approach. Maybe too much air. Although I did have a lower. I'm going back to a similar model, mostly optimism, a little bit of pessimism, and you can sometimes wrap pessimism in the form of a higher if you pick the right stat category. First one's obvious. I'm playing Patrick Mahomes higher than his rushing attempts until he goes under. I understand you can look to the playoff game last year where he only rushed 3 times, but his ankle was all fucked up.
We loved it with Kelsey being out. You still love it with Kelsey just officially got the green light. You're still on it.
I don't think the offense is just going to be magically fixed with Kelsey back, and I think that the Jags will have a little bit of a pass rush. And I think we saw last week they allowed for a leaky. Not all of that was designed Anthony Richardson runs. It was mostly scrambles. And so I think he had a poor game at 39 yards or whatever he landed on. I thought about yards versus the rushing attempts, but at 4, I mean, if you look at his last season, he's going over, he's pushing or going over more than he's going under. And I just think the way the offense is, Mahomes is a gamer. He's going to, I think 6 rushes in week 1 in a, it was a neutral game script, which I think you have to look at the point spread and expect something similar here. If anything, they had a more advantageous spot at home week 1 in terms of him limiting the rushing attempts. That didn't work out there. I don't think it works out here either. So give me Mahomes to go higher than 4 rushing attempts.
I'm keeping it simple. Derrick Henry higher, 85.5 rushing yards. Let the big dog eat. Breaking news: it does seem like DeAndre Hopkins isn't going to play. I do think that's going to create some opportunities for my boy Chig, who I threw in the DFS lineup. Treylon Burks should get some, but
can Chig just get a touchdown? I don't want. This feels like it's going to build.
Oh man,
can we just pop it now?
The Chig cherry has to get popped, and I do think it will get popped. So obviously, I'm also like Chig anytime touchdown, but Derrick Henry 85.5 rushing yards. If you're Mike Vrabel and you have that offense, you just got to give him the rock. I know they also like Tajay Spears, but I think this is just going to be a ground and pound game, a physical game to attack a non-physical Chargers defense. You saw Mostert have a pretty good game, and just in general, the Dolphins offense just attack him.
great time to remind people that the grass is longer in Tennessee as well. So
it is. And someone pointed out, I'm blanking on the listener's name, apologies, but he goes, you guys got away from the system where you fade the Chargers at home and take them on the road. That is scary. I am on Titans money line as my dog, but I think the physicality and the Titans coming off the loss, I still like it.
And I'm thinking we might have to add this to either the recap show or the pick show, but just doing a little self scouting. Tennessee maybe in the bucket of teams that high on preseason takes. Maybe it might take a little longer to cool off on them, and for that reason, yeah, we did just completely abandoned the obvious Chargers system.
We did.
All right, number 2. I'm staying in the same game. I was trying to spray across the mostly the early slate, but I don't have the best aim anymore. And it seemed like seemed like there might have been a pressure system. So you're gonna have to check out the pipes, maybe do some running. Trevor Lawrence in the same game again, negative take in a higher than a half interception. This is another one I'm just going to play every week until he proves to me he's not going to do that. 7 interceptions in his 5 games played in the calendar year 2023. See what I did there?
Yeah,
a little trend
great data frame.
I made sure to lump in the playoff games and the end of the regular season. 7 INTs in the last 5 games. Obviously, 4 of those happened in the Chargers game, but they did happen. We can't just ignore that. And what did he do week 1? Sean came out and threw a nice interception. Also had that just absolutely hilarious fumble. So that's 2 turnovers. I know we need the interception. I just think he's loose with it. I think our 40-1 for him to lead the league in interceptions.
It's a lot. Although Josh Allen really put the team on his back.
We might need Josh Allen to miss a couple games, a la Dak a couple years back or maybe last year. So yeah, Trevor Lawrence higher than a half interception.
For me, fellow dog. I think we talked about him on the DFS show as well, but I like this number. I like this matchup. Kenneth Walker higher 59.5 rushing yards. I think Seattle is just going to pound the rock again. You have to set up Geno Smith in good situations by running the ball, creating easy play action. That's how you beat this Lions team. I think the Chiefs in some ways, probably looking back at the game film, they're like, we played into their hands by throwing it. The drops obviously killed them, but I think this is a good spot for Seattle to get loose. Kenneth Walker seems to be a bell cow back in a major way. Maybe that changes down the line, but right now this is I'm all in on Kenneth Walker.
Great take.
Thank you.
Oh, I got him in fantasy. You know that. I think obviously the anytime market is electric. Unfortunately, they've taken some of the fun out of the 2 touchdown market. He's only plus 750. What are they doing to us?
We got to keep finding new ways. We're like a criminal, just keeps finding different ways to break into the bank vault and score a bunch of cash because they keep first touchdown prices keep going down. Second, the 2 touchdown stuff they're squeezing you on, but we keep finding a way. And we're adding on to this episode Sunday Night Football first touchdown. So I don't think we did that last week. So stay tuned for that, Ryan.
The people. Since I hit and everyone is finding crowns on the ground to give me, I figured we might want to include it into the audio form. So the news,
so we have the clip to highlight when
and so the pen and paper crowd can get a piece of the action. All right. So I've given out 2. You've given out 2.
Yep, you're on number 3,
Mister. I'm in that game you just highlighted, but give me Sam Laporta higher than 34.5 receiving yards. He went 5 for 39 in the first game, in which I think is a worse matchup. I think that they're going to be able to exploit this part of the Seattle defense, much like Sam or Matt. I almost called him Sam Bradford. Much like Matt Stafford was last week with Higbee before he got popped. And Adams being out there, I think only makes this kind of more likely for there to be a random big play. Sam Laporta, very involved also in the offense, kind of the clear number 2 target in the passing game after Amon-Ra St. Brown to me. I like his usage only to go up. So he already went over 34.5 last week. So higher than 34.5 this week seems obvious. Square, obviously.
I'm going to sound like a broken record, but Luke Musgrave higher 31.5 receiving yards. now it looks like Romeo Dobbs, even though he had a great game last week, he's trending to maybe not playing.
You were, I mean, this is just looking great for my Falcons.
Christian Jones is, Christian Watson clearly not playing. Aaron Jones is probably not going to play as well.
That's big.
It just seems like they have so many guys that are banged up, and Luke Musgrave looked really good. Even if you're not high on him, I think in any game flow, he's gonna get like 5-6 targets. He had 3 catches for 50 yards against the Bears defense. And you're not going to double a rookie tight end, so I think he's going to have some opportunities.
The only issue I would take with what you said is I actually think he's getting used a little bit more down the field. So I think I still like the angle, but maybe it's not like a whole bunch of volume and it's actual stuff, which makes this even easier to get to.
Yeah, because I could see it volume. I could see it either way at 31.5. That he could be one big play. It could be 4 dink and dunks.
The concern is like, who's the other guy in the offense that they have to pay attention to? AJ Dillon hasn't looked very good. Samaje Toure, is he the number 1 receiver now? Like
Jalen Reed is probably interesting.
Well, he's also a little banged up. I think this is a tough spot for the Packers. But to your point, who else is getting the ball?
Yeah. To me, it's that simple. At 31.5, it doesn't feel like they adjusted the price for how good he looked game 1, and B for how banged up the other weapons are.
Same exact thing for Sam Laporta, minus the weapons talk. I mean, again, he was clearly used, and you don't really adjust the total. I'll take it again. I like how we both had a tight end in that slot. 4 for me. Going back.
How's the slot?
Going back to the well, Sean. AR-15, aka Anthony Richardson. I admitted he looked a little better than I thought, but when I looked back at the numbers, this was a little bit alarming. 141 of his 223 passing yards were yak. They were 5th in the NFL in week 1 in yak. I understand that like some of that is the scheme. The Ravens only had 89 yards after the catch against Houston last week. I think the scheme is going to be ready for it now. And I'm pounding the Anthony Richardson lower than 205 passing yards this week.
Okay.
Yeah. When 2/3 of your passing yards are yak, I'm putting this in the Lawrence and Mahomes bucket every week. I'm playing this. This is like the Martingale though. Like no way, I'm doubling up every week.
It's like if you lose on black, you go, oh, I lost $100 on black. I'll just bet 200.
Double up.
And then if you lose 200, you bet 400.
Anthony Richardson, first road start of his career, under 200, lower than 200.5 passing yards.
Okay, for me, next up, I got Jamal Williams, lower 52.5 rushing yards. This to me is it's a division game. I do think the Saints are going to try to attack the Panthers through the air, especially with JC Horn being out. So I think that's what they're going to, I like, even though I'm on the Panthers as a home dog, it's a division game. I think they're going to have trouble getting Jamal Williams going outdoor Monday night. Also, I think it's just a game plan thing. I think they're going to try to attack the Panthers with a backup cornerback situation. I think you can pass a little bit on this Panthers team. So Jamal Williams, not super efficient his first game. Now, maybe some of that was just the Titans rush defense, but Jamal Williams lower 52.5 rush yards.
Jamal Williams currently sitting on 42 yards, good for 5th in the NFC South. Do we have any update on Kendre Miller? Because if he's back and healthy, I got to imagine he eats in. Jamal Williams didn't look great. He had a fumble. I don't think, he doesn't strike me as the same like mojo guy he was on that Lions team.
Kendre Miller returned to practice, so good sign. And you're right. Hopefully he eats away with some of his touches. Taysom Hill, he has to get his workload going.
I mean, you think about what happened last week. That was a tough matchup against Tennessee, but Jamal Williams also just didn't look the part of a guy who's going to dominate the carries. And if there's 2 of them healthy, I mean, remember Kamara back in now 3 weeks. So this is the time for Jamal Williams to shine. And I think if I'm the coaching staff, I want to see what Kendre Miller has if he's at all healthy. All right, last one for me. This is just stupid. Christian McCaffrey had a massive game week 1. I see no reason why he wouldn't have another massive game in week 2. Are you worried about the Rams and that vaunted defensive line. Aaron Donald had a great game, but Aaron Donald's not going to slow down this rushing attack. 64.5 yards is his rushing total. Give me higher than 64.5 for Christian McCaffrey. Elijah Mitchell didn't sniff much work at all. This is all Christian McCaffrey. He doubled this last week.
Yeah, it's weird.
Not really sure where this is. He had 22 carries. Not really sure why. I don't think they watched the games.
I don't think they. I think the
games.
only way this wouldn't get here is if somehow the 49ers get out to a massive lead, or
he's still going to be out there.
He was
out there in the massive lead last week.
You're right. Yeah, because it wasn't even
Mitchell.
That was people's case for Elijah Mitchell was, hey, when they're up big, they're gonna split carries with Elijah Mitchell. But you're right, you didn't see any of that, and there was a lot of, oh, they got to save him for the playoffs. This is a division game. I don't think there's going to be any holding back. I guess maybe the quick turnaround to Thursday nights, but yeah, I'm with you. I think.
What do you think the snap count was between Christian McCaffrey and Elijah Mitchell? Because they were the only two running backs that played. Juszczyk out there 62% of the time. Mitchell only 15%.
Yeah, he didn't seem,
and that was a blowout.
You're right. That's a great point for him and for his.
I don't think they watch the games. That's my new take on some of these. I don't think they watch all the games.
We're team watch the film as well. For me, we got to have one Cowboy lower, and of course it is Rain Prescott lower, 214.5 passing yards.
Whoa.
That is really
it's spicy.
Is it though?
214. He's coming off a game where he was in a massive lead and playing a good defense.
Who is a good? Oh, right. Come on, you can't say that Giants defense
What did he throw?
Is good
What did he throw for against the Giants?
143.
Oh, exactly. That's Justin Fields' area. Great defensive performance.
Obviously, I'm going to always throw some shade at the Cowboys, but I think in this situation is warranted. Brandon Cooks is looking like he could be out. So it's a very easy matchup for the New York Jets. Just put Sauce Gardner on the one good receiver the Cowboys have. And I think that's really going to slow it down. Also, if you think the Cowboys, the line reflects they're going to blow them out. I'm not so fast for old Sean Green. I think the Jets will be able to hang around, but it's going to be a heavy dose of Pollard. I just don't see them throwing all over this Jets defense, which they made Josh Allen look like an asshole. I understand some of it's like a division thing. They're at home. They were jacked up, but I think they can really clamp down on this Cowboys passing game.
I called into a show this morning, and I think what I said was I love the Jets a lot more as a team to bet on now that Aaron Rodgers is out of here and we get an extra touchdown on every spread.
Seriously, what to your point? Would you rather have Zach Wilson at 9 points or Aaron Rodgers? What if Aaron Rodgers is playing this game? The spreads maybe 2.5?
I think it was 3 basically.
3. Okay. So I would rather, to your point, I'll take the touchdown and Zach Wilson.
Yeah, I know. It might have been 3.5 after the Cowboys.
Like it might not actually work out wins wise, but I think spread betting, they might be in a better place.
100% they're going to cover more spreads with any quarterback that isn't Aaron Rodgers. That defense is just too good, and they're going to get so many points in some of these matchups. All right, so that's it. I got to
5
the
for
end.
5.
I'm
I'm of course going 5 for 5, putting the 20x multiplier in.
I thought about the insurance after watching you call for the Eagles to kick a field goal on 4th and 1 last night. I was like, you know what?
Am I wrong?
Maybe the corporate strategy is
am I wrong?
Hedging.
They would have covered the spread.
First, you take even money on blackjack. Now you want to
they would have covered the spread.
Push.
I do. Tush push just remains undefeated.
Well, they only didn't cover the spread because they sucked later in that same drive. Also a fair point. I know.
Ryan, time for our D-Gens only parlay. This is brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Love Hall of Fame Bets. It's got a ton of great information. And of course, if you use the promo code SGPN, get 50% off your first month of Hall of Fame Bets. You gotta bet smarter, not harder. They have so much data to help you optimize your parlay. I even did a little parlay optimizing on my own. I tossed in the parlay. You give them parlay ideas. It spit out 8.6 probability, implied odds of plus 1070. I went over and saw it on DraftKings at plus 1267. AKA we have a winner. Hall of Fame Bets.com. Download the app, use the promo code SGPN to get 50% off. Let's get into it. They also have the deep stats function, which I think is pretty cool. So you can just go spoiler alert, I'm putting Zach Ertz in my parlay.
Oh wow!
But you could just hit Zach Ertz and then click through like, how does Zach Ertz done receiving yards? Okay, he's hit 64% over 31.5 yards. Basically, all the stuff you manually do, at least me, looking at these props on Pro Football Reference, which is a good tool, they do automatically. You save yourself a ton of time. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, that's the deep. I like how they call it deep stat. I will say
Swagger Hound saying, deep stats.
I don't know if
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
I don't know if everyone sees deep stats and immediately wants to click on it, but that was a big that really got me to go in deeper. On the
Kramer got really aroused. So I'll start it off. Zach Ertz anytime touchdown is going to be a part of my DGen only parlay.
Okay.
He has the most career touchdowns against the New York Giants. That, of course, is 7 career touchdowns
on a different team.
Right.
Okay.
But he's still playing the Giants.
I'm making sure that if the TMZ fans are listening, that they understand that different team.
I think he's scored a touchdown on 4 out of the 13 games he's played for the Cardinals. He's also it wasn't a super efficient day, but the amount of, I think he got 11 targets, only turned it into 21 receiving yards. But
10 targets for 21 receiving yards is almost who had that 11 target 1 yard game?
Sorry, yeah, 10
Chosen
targets.
Anderson.
But he had 4 touchdowns for the Cardinals last year. I think he gets one here against the Giants. They seem to, I don't know if they're showcasing him for a trade or Dobbs just has some sort of connection for him, but he's clearly a part of the offense. I think he's an interesting DFS play as well. So Zach Ertz anytime touchdown, the first leg of my tripod. What do you got, Kramer?
Oh, so I actually went 4 legs. I put no constraints.
So you got a table going
on my build. Yep. We're going to put a nice flat top on maybe some glass to keep it nice. Don't destroy the wood. Why would I not go back? Should I go biggest to smallest or smallest to biggest? Let's go smallest to biggest. Tyler Algier is still plus 175. You guys, again, I don't think they watched the game, Sean. He's their goal line back.
He is.
What the fuck are we doing? This is a standalone bet, but I figured why not? I wasn't going to waste it earlier. So yeah, anytime touchdown for Algier. I feels like me putting the free square into the parlay. That's leg 1.
Leg 1 of the tripod. Okay.
It's going to be a little wobbly. My table is going to be a little wobbly though.
Another one I'm tossing in here. I like Denver's defense. I thought they played pretty well. Again, why I like Denver to cover against the spread. One of my locks, Sam Howell. He has 2 career games, both at home, 2 interceptions. Let's keep the hot streak alive. Give me Sam Howell interception. Just feels like him going on the road, first road game against Patrick Surtain, that ball hawking Denver defense. I think it's going to be a tough spot for him. So yeah, give me the Broncos defense here to pick off Sam Howell.
I like that.
This bet is hitting at 100%. Right?
I like
very strong trend.
I like that one. All right. Number 2, I did speak about this man earlier. I do think he's going to find the end zone. We know how much Goff likes to target the tight end around the red zone. Sam Laporta. Price is plus 235. This kind of broke the Hall of Fame bets calculator because he hasn't scored a touchdown yet in his career, but plus 235. I do think he's going to be one of the red zone targets. And again, we highlighted this in the DFS episode, so go check that out. But I do think there's going to be some points scored in this one. Plus 235 to Sam Laporta. Sorry, we've got 2 anytimes in there. I might have 2 more coming.
One more anytime touchdown to round out my 3-team DGen only parlay. Mike Evans anytime touchdown. This Bears defense made Jordan Love look like a Hall of Famer.
It's true, they did.
Mike Evans is clearly one of Baker's guys. It's him and Godwin battling it out. We've seen Mike Evans be used a number of times on the goal line. Baker's a guy who doesn't mind throwing contested balls. If there's one guy who can pull them down, it's Mike Evans. This Bears defense, I think. I'm going against you, Ryan, because I do like Tampa Bay this week. This Bears defense on the road in the heat and humidity, I think could get a little bit worn out. So yeah, give me Mike Evans anytime touchdown to close it out. 3-teamer plus 1267.
Wow, we played a different game this week. Leg number 3, not intentionally, but leg number 3, Dawson Knox plus 295. You see the usage. Kincaid and him both got equal usage, and I do think Dawson Knox will be deployed around the red zone. Obviously, he's a blocker as well. 4th leg, I zagged for this one. Well, I like the Titans matchup on the ground, and I like Derrick Henry too, but they clearly want to get Tajay Spears the ball, and he has some pop. Plus 425 for a single touchdown. Woo, that brings my Tyler Algier, Sam Laporta, Dawson Knox, Tajay Spears. So 2 quote backup running backs and 2 tight ends. That's beautiful. Plus 19004, Sean. That's basically 190 to 1.
Wow.
Right?
You really,
I know. I didn't mean to play the different exercise than you. And if you, and I went a step further, because if you like to have fun, maybe you really want to have fun. If you want to juice this price up to plus 51900, 519 to 1, you're just gonna rip off the running backs, swap the tight ends to 2 each. Dawson Knox 2 touchdowns, Sam Laporta 2 touchdowns. That's gonna pay you 519 to 1.
oh my God.
You jumping on that with me?
I might have to.
Yeah,
That's pretty tempting. Case in Hightower pointing out Laporta 14 to 1, first touchdown. I don't hate that, but all right. Got the D-Gens only parlay. Yes. Time for the Sunday night football first touchdowns. This is being brought to you by Game Time. Maybe you want to get some last minute tickets to the Dolphins and the Baby Whales.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man.
Maybe you want to see Tua remain undefeated against Billy Belichick. Seeing those Finns run all over the place. Tua points out that Tua did throw for 466 passing yards. You're welcome, America.
Sean,
does he also keep track of his judo stats?
You ever seen Tom Brady do that?
I've never seen Tom Brady mention his passing yards. But hey, a lot of great college NFL games going on. Of course, make sure to still take the lady friend out during the week. Wednesday night, Tuesday night before action hits. Good opportunity there. And of course, great opportunity with Game Time. They help you get the tickets. Very easy, low stress. So much stress. Am I going to get the best price? They have the low price guarantee. Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. If you can find cheaper tickets, same section and row for less, don't even try. Just download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code SGPN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create the account, redeem the code SGPN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right. Sunday night football.
Sunday.
Dolphins, Patriots. I got 2 chalkier plays and then 2 long shots for each team.
So you're chopping your unit up. I like that.
Whoa! Or am I playing one unit?
Oh, you're taking another tripod approach.
No.
Quad leg approach. I
got 4 here. Feeling pretty good. Kramer cracked the popped the first touchdown cherry last night with TJ Hawkinson.
I apologize. Apologies for it taking a full week or 2, I guess. First game of week 2. But it did feel good to hit on a obvious value play. You've been starting, so I don't want to. I usually go last because I like to up the level of difficulty.
Okay. Do you want me to rattle off all 4?
Yeah, we can. Let's be dramatic.
Okay. First up for the Dolphins, Salvon Ahmed, 14 to 1. Like this, especially I would bet this now if you're on board with Ahmed, because we saw this with the Eagles running back situation where early in the week they had Kenny Gainwell in there. It didn't seem like he was going to play, so thereby you got better prices on Swift. Rashad Penny didn't end up hitting, but still, why not get the better price earlier on? I think we could see a similar situation here with Ahmed because I don't think Mostert's going to play. He's banged up. He's so injury prone. Does seem like Ahmed is going to be their guy. So yeah, give me Salvon Ahmed 14 to 1.
He did get a carry. Also, if you track that kind of stuff, he did get a carry in the red zone last week. So,
yes,
I don't hate that. I'll start like this, Sean, and I'll be dramatic too. But I think you gotta. To me, you circle this game, and it's AFC East, and I think weird stuff happens when the Dolphins play the Patriots. So I literally started my card, and I'll skip ahead for my second one because I played both defenses. They're both defense special teams are 35-1. I mean, was the Eagles' first score a touchdown, or was that their second? The pick six against Mac Jones last week. So yeah, I started my card, both defenses 35-1. So yeah, keep it simple. That's half. So bring it home. 35-1, pretty nice price, but I have a longer shot still left on the card.
What about 45-1?
Oh,
for a back in the Miami Dolphins system? Alec Ingold, actually a fullback that gets paid.
Oh,
he is actually the highest paid fullback, I think, in the league, AFC. If not the AFC. 17.2 million.
Use check makes more.
He was fucking use check.
Yeah,
he was out there last week on 45% of the snaps. Now they're dealing with Mostert being out. It sounds like Devin Achane isn't even a lock to play. So I think they're going to be pretty thin in that backfield. That's why I like Ahmed and Alec Ingold at 45-1. Last game, he had 2 catches for 34 yards. Why not let the fullback go here? I could see Mike McDaniel getting a little cute here near the goal line with limited running back options. Ingold seems like a great guy to either get a carry or involved in a little like play action boot where he's sitting there open in the end zone. So Alec Ingold 45-1.
Again, and already he does have usage in the red zone, so not pulling shit completely out of your ass. I'll give you the second.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I like all your plays so far. If I was to avoid the defenses in the definitely Ingold would have been on the card. I like the Ahmed.
Just fun to have a fullback in there.
All right, so for the Patriots side, so if I wasn't going to play the Patriots defense, which by the way I think we'll see some judo work, so we'll have to do a quiz maybe on the pregame show or the postgame show on the judo belt color ranking scheme, so we can make sure Sean's up to speed on that because he did embarrass himself by not knowing it last time we made fun of Tua in his new judo, but I do think he's going to need it this week. But yeah, so the Patriots first one, I would play both tight ends, but if I'm only playing one of them, give me Gesicki.
Yep, cosign.
Okay, we watched. Although Hunter Henry has gotten more targets in the red zone, we watched Gesicki be deployed in creative ways, and I also thought we watched last week. We watched the Chargers. I mean, Donald Parham scored a touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. So there were opportunities for the tight end against this defense. So yeah, Gesicki 19-1 again, almost a little bit like the not quite TJ Hawkinson. Like the fact that TJ Hawkinson basically had the same price seems crazy. So Gesicki 19-1, easy one to slide on my card.
Well, also revenge game.
Yeah, Miami revenge game.
Yeah, running it back. Coaches love that kind of stuff. So yeah, Gesicki at 19-1. His snap share was only slightly behind Hunter Henry. It does seem like they're just going to run a ton of 12 personnel.
Yeah.
Off of that, why not take a little shot here on Kayshon Boutte, rookie, 40-1 right now for first touchdown. He was out there for 69% of the snaps. Nice. The only receiver that outsnapped him was Kendrick Bourne. The price for Bourne isn't that interesting. He already had 2 touchdowns last week. I think maybe getting a little different here with Kayshon Boutte. Boutte had 4 targets, so clearly, yeah, it's also fun to say. You love that Boutte.
Yeah,
Boutte in the end zone. I think is a. They're gonna do anything they can to get it into Boutte.
I saw Amara St. Brown celebrating like there was a Boutte in front of him last Thursday
Mac Jones
night.
Maybe Mac Jones and the receiver group have a couple drinks to make it easier to get it into Boutte. So I like.
I mean, he had 2 red zone targets, which is tied for the leader in the team
at 40-1. What are we talking about here? That feels like a great price.
Again, great angle once again.
Thank you, Ryan.
But I haven't seen anyone in the chat, nor have I heard you mention this next guy.
Okay,
he goes by Easy. I'm going to try to pronounce this correctly. Ezukanma, Eric and Ezukanma. Anyway, guess what he is? He's a undrafted guy, worked his way onto the team, and now who's he being compared to? After flashing in both off seasons, Deebo Samuel.
What
in a Mike McDaniel offense?
Okay,
all right.
I'm listening.
This sounds like some off season. You've been watching too many fucking practice videos, Ryan. That's what this sounds like. He had a target in the red zone last week. We all saw River Craycraft have a couple. He's still 28-1, but Mr. Easy E, he's 50-1. Sean, and what better way to deploy a sneaky weapon than against old Grandpa Belichick?
I do like leaning into the angle of Gesicki of Mike McDaniel trying to outsmart or get kind of cute against Belichick. I think he's definitely into that.
So Eric Ezukanma, aka Easy. That's the last time I'll say his full name. Easy.
No, you could just see Mike McDaniel. We got to get Easy E the ball, man. I could see that 100%.
It's a great name. He went to Texas Tech, who really screwed me too. So maybe I have some positive karma. Quote, I've watched Debo since I was in college. The way he plays, breaking tackles. I feel like we play similar, with me adding running the ball to my arsenal, which by the way, he had 2 carries for 52 yards in the preseason. I love this. This is going to be the I'm the smartest fucking guy in the universe play if this hits. God help everyone. For those who say I lost my spunk because I got kicked in the nuts on Sunday nights. Sorry,
Ryan's back.
Still recovering. I don't know if you ever gotten kicked in the nuts, but it goes all the way up into the abdomen. I've been sore.
Ryan's nuts have been sore.
50-1. Sorry, I have 2 35-1s and a 50-1 on my card.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's all I got, Sean. I'm sorry.
That's all we got. So great sheet of props here. We will be back. Well, Sunday morning pregame show here on our channel. But of course, if you're listening to this, tune in. Set up the old recorder for the VSiN 9:00 Pacific live show on YouTube TV, wherever you can also listen for free on vsin.com. So many ways to get VSiN. That's going to be a lot of fun. And send in your questions. We will be answering your questions live on air over on VSiN.
Yeah, if you're at a bar on Friday night, get the show put on the bar. That's your mission. Get Sports Gambling Podcast live.
Yes.
Put on at a bar. Take a picture. Send it in.
Yes, we first person to send in a photo or send in a photo of you watching the VSiN live show in a group setting. We'll hook you up with the SGPN gift card.
Yes,
and the amount will decide how awesome the setting. The more awesome the setting, the bigger the crowd, the bigger the gift card. So that's the mission for the DGen Army. Oh, last note: Sunday morning and Sunday post game show. We will be doing live calls on Twitter Spaces. So a lot of fun to get to. Follow us on X at Gambling Podcast.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the money green. He's Ryan.
Sean, you'll notice I avoided all Giants props this week.
Kramer, let it ride.